Hello and welcome back to Flannels Briar. I'm Gareth. Okay, so this is the third attempt at recording this video for the past almost week now. Not quite a week, but it's not one thing or it's another. It's screwing things up. So try this one more time. I'm getting tired of saying the same stuff, but anyway, just sitting out in the back garden, growing a pipe, which I'll get to here in just a bit. Uh, but yeah, now because of the delays in getting this video to happen, about 2 weeks ago, my wife took me to Kansas City for my little birthday trip thing, early birthday trip thing, and we went to that uh, Kansas City uh, Mavericks hockey game. That was a lot of fun. Um, yeah, the Mavericks lost, but if anything, that league we'd we'd really be more Wichita Thunder supporters than Kansas City Mavericks, so that's all right. But yeah, we sat behind the team benches by the Mavericks, and we were low enough. I can't remember how many rows up we were. We were still watching most of the game through the glass. Those two teams are really getting into it. I mean, I don't. There may have been one kind of fight briefly, but most of it was just the players, the opposing teams, kind of getting into it with each other a bit, multiple times. But some fun hockey watching. The next day, we went to the Nelson Atkins Museum of Art in Kansas City. It's near the Country Club Plaza, where it's a shopping restaurant area, and they have a famous kind of like Christmas tree light display in the not Christmas tree lights, Christmas lights display in Christmas time. I hadn't been to the Nelson in like 20 years. I'd been there like maybe three times in the past. My wife hadn't been at all, but we spent some time there going through looking through the galleries and such. I don't think we saw everything, but it's been a good several hours there, definitely. Then we headed over to the Kansas side, Kansas City. There was a pipe and cigar shop that I was aware of. Wasn't really sure if we should stop there or not because I didn't really need to buy more pipes and didn't really need to buy more tobaccos. But I mentioned it to my wife the night before, and she really didn't want to come back home any earlier than necessary. I think she was enjoying the time away from town, getaway time. So we had some time to burn up, and she was okay with stopping by the pipe shop. So we drove down there. It's a Cigars and Tobacco, I think is the store's name, in Overland Park, and she just stayed in the vehicle while I went in. But it's a good shop. They have a like lounge area and guys were in there smoking cigars. I don't think I saw anybody with a pipe, but they have a very large walk-in humidor, which I didn't go into. But I walked over to the area where the pipes were at, started looking at them in the display case. And the guy, one of the guys that works in the shop, he asked me if I was looking for a pipe, and I just kind of chuckled and said that I needed a new pipe, like I needed a hole in the head. But wanted to pull something out of the cabinet, I guess, under the counter, and he said, "I have something I think you want to take a look at." So he proceeds to pull out these two or three of these like cases. He opened them up, and they were just full of estate pipes. So we're there looking through them, and had a good number of quite nice pipes. Well, I wound up getting three of them, of course. One of them is this Peterson system pipe. It's a a Peterson 312. It's stamped with the K&P Peterson logo. I think it's Captain Peterson. I don't know what year this was made in or the era, but it's made in the Republic of Ireland. Yeah, I'd love to have a Peterson, somebody that's stamped, made in era, or however you pronounce it. It's like the Gaelic name for Ireland. Which is my understanding is they only stamped them that for a fairly short period of time. And I don't know if that corresponded to the whole national political situation that Ireland was dealing with years back when they were trying to get their independence from the UK, all that sort of thing, or what. But yeah, this is the first system pipe, first peel up from Peterson I've got. I really enjoy smoking this pipe. I've noticed that I'm overall more of a straight pipe sort of guy, or a slightly bent pipe kind of guy. But I have a good number of bent pipes, and I do enjoy smoking them. Something about the curve of this pipe that's just very comfortable for me. Works really well. Whereas my Peterson Dracula bent brandy, something about the bend in that just, it's not that I hate the pipe, but it just didn't have that comfortable whatever to it. I got my Peterson. They had a Castello in there. They wanted like 250 for it, so that was a little bit above what I wanted to spend for any particular pipe. But it had this really neat kind of sandblast thing going on. It had this kind of this chunky, knobby sort of sandblast. Well, they also had this Savinelli saddle bit billiard, and it has basically more or less the identical sort of kind of chunky, knobby sandblast that Castello had. This is a Savinelli 114. It's a Savinelli Capri root briar. So this one was in really nice shape. It's a little bit of cake in there, but so I got this one. I think if anything, I think this one was a little bit nicer shape than the Castello was. But yeah, it had a really interesting sandblast to it. And lastly, I got this BB&S saddle bit bulldog. This one was just in really nice shape. They had another, I think it may have been a saddle bit bulldog also, but they had another bulldog at least that had prettier briar grain. It's really nice, but it wasn't as nice a shape. I kind of like this one because it has a fairly small bowl, which sometimes kind of comes in handy depending on how long you want to be smoking a pipe. But so I picked this one up. I like the briar grain on this one too. It's just the other one was a bit prettier looking overall. course, my pipe went out. I was talking too much. But there were two, despite the fact that I feel like I've been giving too much of my money to smoking pipes. And I have a lot of tobaccos in my cellar. There are two pipe blends in particular that I did want to try. And sure enough, the shop had both of them. One of them is the tobacco I'm smoking in my Peterson here, and that's Eric Stokeby's fourth generation 1931. So I got a tin of this. The other one was, oops. The other one was HH Burley Flake. So I got a tin of that one. I know this one, it's 1931. I don't know, like a month or so ago, Timber Drifter did a video where he was talking about really enjoying this, and kind of sound like it might be something I'd like. So sure enough, I like it. Treats my tongue pretty well. I've noticed some blends are easier on my tongue than others. Starting to get a feel for, figuring out which those are. But yeah, it's good stuff. The HH Burley Flake is very good. And like Paladin Piper said recently, I can't remember if that was a video he put out recently or I just recently watched it. But anyway, he's talking about HH Burley Flake. Now it's something that you really wouldn't want to try too early on because you really wouldn't get the flavors, and I would agree with that. If I'd tried that stuff back, over a year ago, I have a feeling I would have found that flavor just to be kind of sort of one note. That's not quite what I want to call it, but just kind of one note, just a little bit underwhelming, I guess. Just that's the way I would have perceived it at the time. Whereas now I can much better appreciate those flavors, the burley working with Virginias and all that. It's some really good stuff. So I'm glad I was able to find these two tobaccos and pick them up, try them. Oh yeah, speaking of hockey, I know the last video I uploaded, I said something kind of dumb. Or I believe I called the Colorado Avalanche the Denver Avalanche. So I figured out after that, it's like, oh, whoops, that wasn't, wasn't the team's name. But yeah, after the pipe shop, I went down to the REI store and looked around there. Also there in Oval, it was also there in Overland Park. Then we went up to the IKEA store, and I really need to get some bookshelves, some good solid wood bookshelves. So we got some of those and bought some other stuff there. Yeah, if you haven't noticed, I'm a bit of a book collector, and I have a lot of books, and they don't all have shelves right now. But it was a good trip, good little weekend away. Friday, Saturday away, I guess. Can't remember if there's other stuff I was seeing on these videos. Last couple times I tried to record them. First time I tried recording it, that was kind of a disaster from the start because I was sitting on the table back here and the sun was getting low on the horizon. And at first it was fine because it was behind a tree. Of course, it moved within minutes and it was in my face. So I'm like trying to duck out of the sun, trying to get below the shadow of the fence, which it wasn't working. And then my camera ran out of space. And my phone ran out of storage space, so I cut the video off. Then the other day, I tried recording the same video out front, and I had to stop the video in the middle and then resume it. And then I went to edit it back together, and I ran into the same bizarre problem where the where I had a video file recorded on my phone, and then when I put it in on my computer and tried editing it in Adobe Elements, Premiere Elements, the audio and video sync was off. So I deleted all that. But yeah, I need to still edit some videos I shot last month in January. Um, those put together and get them uploaded. Ones where I went out camping when it was supposed to get down to 15 below, but I think it's supposed to get down to 15 below, but it only got down about 6 below according to my thermometer. So I was a little disappointed in that regard. Then I went ice fishing and blah blah blah. But hopefully I'll get those put together and uploaded. Wow, 16 minutes, 16 and a half minutes. I think I've rambled on long enough already on this video, so I'll say bye for now, and thanks for watching. Yeah, eventually I'll get stuff edited and uploaded. So I'm Gareth with Flint Hills Briar. See you next time.